How we doing, everyone? And welcome to the very first edition of FSI's NHL Preview Show. I'm your host, GK Nation. We're joined with McKinley_4112 on Twitter. McKinley, this is the first time we get to work together. I'm pretty excited for the upcoming NHL slate and an upcoming NHL year. It's going to be a blast. We had some success in preseason. Talk to us a little bit about what to expect this year and how things have gone for you.
Yeah, so I'm super excited. NHL is finally back. It feels like the previous season just ended. I mean, with the whole COVID and it going later, everything just got messed up. But happy it's back. New team this year, Seattle Kraken, finally joining the league. So we'll see what they're going to be able to do. They're going to be the team leading off. Well, they're on opening night, but they're the second game. But it just came out
in the 2-hole.
Yeah, it just came out this evening, though, that they're battling some COVID issues throughout their lineup.
Yeah.
So it's all first night, you're already battling COVID struggles, and we'll see how it goes. Hopefully everything turns out great.
Yeah, hopefully. Excited for the new addition to the Seattle Kraken. The roster looks to be in shambles at the moment, but overall, over the course of the full year, we should see them get their team together, get their franchise going. I don't expect a really good Vegas type turnout for the Kraken this year with, that just kind of never going to happen again for an expansion team. The NHL won't allow it.
No, and I think GMs are smart enough now to be like, yeah, maybe if all of us do a little bit of a deal, it's just going to be blown up in our face. And yeah, it's not going to happen again.
No. All right. Well, we're here to talk DFS, guys. We're going to be going through positions for this 2-game slate. Typically on a bigger slate, we would probably talk about our favorite stacks, the highest game totals, where to put yourself in position to win in NHL DFS. We have the huge opening night $10 featured GPP for 20,000 people for a total top prize of $50K. So you're going to have to have some differentiation in your lineups in order to win that top prize. There could be a possibility of a split at the top. Who knows? But hey, it could be a third line stack. It could be a fourth line goal. It doesn't matter. You're going to have exposure to quite a bit in order to get to that top prize. In order to talk cash games, on a 2-game slate, that's not typically my move. McKinley, are you a cash game emphasis or a GPP emphasis when you play NHL?
I'm typically more of the cash game player, just kind of how the brain works, and that's where I found my most success.
Yeah, and I'm going to be your GPP, what is he talking about guy as the season goes on. Yeah, that's just typically how I play. I want the top prize, and cash games are fun. I do have my cash game sport. NHL is not, but hopefully McKinley can convert me as the season goes on, and I can get into these cash games for NHL. All right, enough about us and enough about FSI's plugs and who we are. Let's talk about the slate. We're going to start off with the center position here. It is slim pickings for center with some injury news. McKinley, kick us off. Talk to us a little bit about what's going on in Pittsburgh and Tampa for the center position.
Yeah, so lots of injuries, day-to-days at the moment. Sidney Crosby, he's out. He's going to be out for a little bit. Pittsburgh also has Malkin out. Obviously, he's on the wing, but still, that's 2 major components to Pittsburgh. So, for me, tomorrow night, I'm just putting in Braden Point, just locking him in, not even thinking anything about it, because It's just him, and it's a massive gap in everybody else. After him, I mean, you're kind of looking down pretty far. You're probably going to be deciding between, do you want one of the Vegas guys like Carlson or Stevenson, or bumping down even farther and getting another Tampa Bay guy in Cirelli? 3.9K. You could be a second line center for Tampa Bay, and that could provide some great value for you. And he does get that power play time. So obviously in NHL, it's all about correlation. You get 2 assists. So if you can correlate even strength or power play units and everything, it definitely helps you out. But like you said, it's very slim pickings. Jeff Carter, probably not going to really be interested in him at all in cash. A guy like Wenberg, he's a center who he's not going to shoot the puck at all. He's going to try to tip it out in front. So he's goal or bust. There is no floor for him.
Yeah.
So I in cash and like my brain, like I never ever want to play Wenberg. So but yeah, I'm going to be looking to these to point and then these Vegas centers here.
Yeah, I'm going to have to agree with you. Not much I like to see on Seattle. Wenberg. As a Blue Jacket fan, I know a little bit about Wenny, and yeah, he's all about assists. He is probably going to be on their power play. I think that could be a boost, but at 5'1", way too dependent on points, and there is no upside with shots on goal. So I am out on him. I don't really see much for Seattle. I think I would agree with you that Carlson and Stevenson are the play at your cash play or your safer play for your center two after point. I would say Ross Colton is interesting for Tampa Bay and that third line. He's going to go up against a very vulnerable third line for the Penguins. And he's skated with Stamkos and Corey Perry in the preseason. And Corey Perry, I did you see this like renaissance coming from Corey Perry? He kicked it off with Dallas last year, and now he looks to be a big part of Tampa Bay going forward. I mean, that's the kind of upside you might need, or like a ownership you could have a GPP winning stack with, Stamkos, who's a pretty good winger, and, Ross Colton could be in the middle of that. I could see that from a pivot off of Cirelli or Stevenson. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, obviously, I think in GPP, that third line is going to be popular for both Tampa Bay. I actually lean a little bit more to the Vegas third line personally.
Okay.
Like a guy like Peyton Krebs, I think he's min price right now. I know we're talking center right now, but like Peyton Krebs, like min price, this kid is a stud. He's going to be an up and comer. He's got that power play unit as well. So I definitely would have interest in him. But like Dadonov as well, Nolan Patrick. Nolan Patrick was one of those top draft picks just a couple years ago. So things just didn't work out for him in Philly. Maybe things will turn around here. But I personally would prefer the Vegas third line, but I totally understand where you're coming from with that Tampa Bay third line as well.
Yeah, nice call. As you can see, this is very one-sided slate so far with Vegas and Tampa Bay. All right, we're going to move on to winger. So we have our centers. We're typically in NHL DFS, you want to stack, right? You want those points. You want the line points. Who would you consider to be the ultimate floor play at the winger position up near the studs? Like, who has our best bet to supply us with a floor of shots, a floor of points? Who is it?
I want to say Kucherov, but I feel like it's obvious, but then it's just going to be Pacioretty. I mean, both Kucherov and Pacioretty, they shoot like crazy, and they're close to a point per game players as well. I mean, there's a reason that they're priced up that high. NHL scoring on DK, at least, you get the bonus if you have 5 shots on net. So 5 shots on goal gets that 3-point bonus for you, and just 5 shots, that's worth more than an entire goal. So I think it equates to like 10.5 points with the bonus, so it's huge. So yeah, you definitely want guys who are going to be shooting the puck, guys like Kucherov, guys like Pacioretty, they're up at the top. So definitely targeting them. They correlate well with the guys that we've already talked about. If you want to go cheap, you're going to have to go cheap somewhere. Probably one of my favorite value plays that's not on Vegas and not on Tampa Bay. It's actually going to be Jason Zucker for Pittsburgh. Mm-hmm. He's skating on that second line, and he's got left winger. So he's going to be, if you flip the ice around, he's left wing. He's going to be facing that right-sided D of Tampa Bay. So he's going to be avoiding Hedman. He's going to be avoiding Sergachev. He's going to be avoiding McDonough, which essentially are almost some of their 3 best defenders. So now he's got the weaker side of the Tampa Bay defense. He can shoot the puck. He can provide that floor for you. And he's got that scoring ability. So he's got that top power play unit as well. At 4.4K, I think Zucker might be my favorite value play on that winger side. What about you? Have you
I think
ventured down that far?
for value, I'm probably, you kind of alluded to it a little earlier. I was looking at Dadnoff,
Yep.
going with Vegas.
Vegas 3.
He's only 3,900, and yeah, he's skating with that Krebs, and Nolan Patrick's pretty good center, two-way center. So I like Daddy. I don't know where he's at on the power play units, but I assume he's probably filling in for where Tuck would be. So I assume he would be power play 2 or
Yeah.
power play 1. But yeah, I'm assuming
Power
he's
play 2
taking
right
over
now.
the Tuch role. Yeah, he's taking over for Tuck, Tuch, whichever you pronounce it. But I assume Daddy will probably going to be playing quite a bit in that power play unit, which could be on the ice quite a bit with the way the Seattle team's looking like, and he could be really good value at 3,900.
Yep.
Yeah,
the guy right above him.
Oh, go ahead.
The guy right above him at 4K, Riley Smith. I mean, if you want somebody, if you're playing, want to correlate to that top line or the second line, those top two lines are interchangeable in Vegas.
Sure.
He's going to be skating with like Carlson and Marcia Show. He's going to get top power play units. So Riley Smith, he's right there. That's where my brain would go. But Dadonov, I love Dadonov. When he was in Florida, he was shooting the puck like crazy. So I was all over him. Went to Vegas, lost a little bit of that ice time, but still, I think he's a great play.
Yeah, absolutely. So we have our favorite stacks here. Probably the first two lines of Vegas. Probably, the lines we talked about with Tampa Bay. All right, let's talk about a little bit of defense here. Vic, you could go with Chris Letang. Who do you consider to be the top defenseman on the slate tomorrow?
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to just keep saying these Tampa Bay and guys like Giordano.
Hey, that's the slate.
I got a good feeling about Giordano tomorrow. Kind of get off of Vegas and get off of Tampa Bay. He's the captain for Seattle. I think he's gonna just really just want to take this franchise over and like be the face of them. And when he was in Calgary, he was a cash player's dream. He was always in my lines because he's a defenseman who can get you that 5-shot bonus, but he can also get you the 3 block shot bonus as well. So even if the guy doesn't get on the short score sheet at all, he's still able to provide a massive floor for you. And I mean, given the Seattle lineup they might be trotting out tomorrow, he's probably going to be asked to do a lot. He's going to see a lot of ice time, and he's going to be able to he can score and he can get the assists as well. So I think Giordano, like point per dollar wise, might be my favorite cash play for defense, at least.
I absolutely love that call, and I'm glad you talked about it because I was going to get to it. Giordano probably going to be playing close to 27 minutes tomorrow night. On the penalty kill, on the power play, on the ice for most of the time. 5,600, you're getting a little bit of a discount too from Pietrangelo and Hedman, who are 6'3" and 6K. Obviously, you can go with both of them with their, aforementioned stacks. Vegas line 1 with Pietrangelo. Shea Theodore did not play a lick in preseason. I don't think he's going to play. I don't know if they're going to separate Alex Martinez and Pietrangelo or keep them together. I think Martinez is never a bad play either at 5,500. Another guy that can kind of get both block shots and shots on goal. What are your thoughts on some of the cheaper Vegas defenders? Like, what if White Cloud or Quaglin or Haig get in there? Those are some good value plays for Vegas. Those are some guys that I've played in the past, and I'm always team cheap defense too. I'm trying to squeeze all the top wingers in my lineups in the GPP style.
I'm team pay up for D because they're gonna give you that floor. So I'm team pay up for D. But if I would go to like those value Vegas guys, I'd probably lean towards Haig. And it's pretty much
min
only
price
because he's getting not min price 3.2
32. 32. Yeah, I was thinking of Quaglin.
Yep. So he's close, but still he's getting that power play time. And obviously things can change. I mean, we could wake up tomorrow morning and they could have a whole new power play unit, but like as of this moment, Haig is listed as on the power play unit. So I would be going with him as the Vegas cheap D.
Yeah. Another cheap defender I usually like playing is Bogosian. I can't pronounce his name. Bogosian. Thank you.
Listen, he killed the Sabres for however many years. Just ruined the team. I'm still mad at him, so he can go on his way.
He is a good source for shots on goal, though, and he does shoot the puck from deep. I think he's going to be playing with Sergachev. No.
Possible. On that third line, third pair.
Yeah, and I think they're going to break them out for some offense. In spots where they're looking for offense from their defense. I like him for some upside at 2,900. Always a guy that can get some shots on goal. I mean that defense is pretty straightforward to me in cash. I think I would have someone like Giordano, and then if I play Vegas line one, Angelo, and if I'm playing Tampa, I'll probably have Hedman, and then my cheap defenders that we went through. I think that's pretty good source of info there. All right, let's talk goalie. We only have 2 games. We're probably going to be having a discussion between Vasilevsky and Robin Lehner. Who is your preferred option here? And is there a possibility that Grubauer or Tristan Jarry are the winning goalies tomorrow? Is there any possibility?
I mean, it's hockey. Hockey's weird in that, like, it can be a bounce of a puck and, like, it deflects off a guy's skate, and that's the game. Well, like, it's pretty heavy favorites. I think it's going to be Tampa and Vegas, obviously. But, like, goalie's weird in the NHL in that, whenever I talk about NHL DFS and, like, goaltending, I always bring up, like, the tank Sabres, like 2014-15 when they were trying to get Jack Eichel. Everybody was playing the goalie against the Sabres, but the Sabres could only they only shot the puck like 13 times a game. So if they scored one goal, like it was ruined. The goalie wasn't really scoring at all. So you want to get that combination of like the goalie to get the win, but you also want them to see shots as well so that they can boost their total. So like you see it all throughout the season. Like the losing goalie can outscore the winning goalie just based off of, shot production and everything. So goalie, I don't pay too much attention towards. Obviously, I hope I land on Vasilevsky or Leonard tomorrow. Whichever one, it's kind of wherever I land. Tristan Jarry would be my other one, but
yeah, that was what I was going to say.
I'm a little nervous about Jarry just based off of, his past performance in the playoffs and just starting off. Yeah. I want to think in my brain it was Jarry against Philadelphia opening the season last year, and it just did not go well. I don't know why I have this in my brain, but check it out. I could be completely wrong. Who knows? But yeah, I don't trust Jarry. But if I did land on Jarry or Grubauer, I would go with Jarry.
Yeah, I was going to say the same because of that shot upside we could see with Jarry. And Pittsburgh, they could play stingy at times. Tampa did kind of struggle a little bit to score in the preseason. I remember I was on them for, a massive major NHL lineup versus minor league lineup, and they didn't score a goal for what felt like 2 periods, but then ended up smashing. Because that's just kind of the Tampa way. It's like, are they alive? Oh yes, they are. Here's 5 goals in a row.
Yep, that's Tampa.
That's Tampa. Yeah, it's Tampa. Yeah. All right, McGinley. I think we did fairly good here on our nice little easy 2-game slate to open up the season, guys. You can follow me on Twitter at TKNation47. That is McKinley_412 on Twitter. You can follow our DFS and also join us on our website www.fsidfs.com. You can sign up for the Discord. We have our cores and our breakdowns, our favorite line stacks, pretty much everything we just said in this video for tomorrow. But for the bigger slates, guys, you're going to want to see those breakdowns, those cores. Join us, the Discord. You can get 24 hours of chat. I never sleep. I'm always available anytime, anywhere. All right, guys, thank you. Like this video. Comment below with your first goal scorer of the Tampa Bay, Pittsburgh. Maybe we can, maybe we'll throw out a little 1 week promotion if you get it right. So yeah, we'll run that. And so if you get the winner, you'll get a free week. How about that?
Good
So
deal.
comment with the first goal scorer of the first game of the season. You'll get the first week free. There we go. There's our promotion. I'll run that by my colleagues after the video. I'm sure they'll be happy to hear that I created a promotion on the fly. All right, guys, like this video. Thank you, and we'll see you again.